Hello YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the House of Fata Morgana. Yeah, so last time basically it was pretty much just like Morgana the witch got awakened. And offered to curse Michel's family, but Michel refused. He did not want to curse his family, and then it was pretty much just Morgana trying to tempt him to accept her offer to curse them, like, through the whole episode, pretty much, so... Essentially nothing of note happened over the next 2 years. At one point, a man with an unusual disease stumbled across the mansion while wandering through the forest. But there is little more to be said about that, for nothing at all could have convinced me to care about someone else. I spent much of my time sitting before the fireplace. I had covered the stained glass window with drapes, loath to even think about that damned archangel. Staring at the dancing flames, I was able to forget the passage of time, watching, unblinking, as the red and orange tongues flicked back and forth. They seemed to spread outward from the fireplace, consuming me, whether by the raging infernos of hell or the cleansing fires of purgatory. The thought of being swallowed up and burned to ashes by a massive conflagration was quite pleasant. The fuck is this guy talking about? But those visions never became reality. Tell me, Michel, what are you thinking right now? Do you still not want to curse them? Look at yourself, Michel. Look at how you're living. Do you really want this life? Have you ever thought about dying? Michel, would you like to die? That's the right answer. God has said that taking one's own life is a sin after all. That's good, Michel. You've made the right decision. And I shall be there with you until the very end, my dear friend. Honestly, part of me did desire death. I just didn't have enough energy to take my own life. My mind and spirit were too far decayed. However, in my 10th year, the door opened once more, and time sputtered back into motion. When you showed up, Giselle, everything I had given up on, and everything I had thought I'd lost, it all came back. At first, as you know quite well, I was deeply mistrustful of you. I hated having you around, but if I hadn't met you, in all likelihood, I probably would have continued down that path and become a demon. But you seem to me like a rather handsome man. I think I get what you're trying to say, but my mental image of a witch is definitely more of a woman. So you're not a witch. To tell you the truth, I didn't know who might be here, which had me rather scared. But I think I can make this work. It's a pleasure to meet you, Master. After taking care of Giselle, I returned to my room. I was, to be quite honest, dumbfounded, and it was, naturally, the witch who stoked the fire of my apprehension. Why would you let that woman stay here? She came from the Bollinger estate, and we both know how you feel about your family. Chase her out. Give her a little scare, and she'll be gone within the day. If you'd rather not, I could always frighten her in your place. A rattling window here, a couple broken glasses there. Small things like that to accentuate the eerie atmosphere. Are you going to say anything? Why do you care about her at all? Oh, now, don't be like that. I live here too, so why shouldn't I care? And I am not fond of noisy people, or sprightly women like that one. That's something we can both agree on, isn't it? You don't like that woman, do you? The more a person smiles, the less you can trust them. Though I hardly have to tell you that, do I? Stop talking. Now, that's not very polite. This is a family matter. It is none of your concern. I was merely offering to help rid you of a pest. I don't need your help. I will get rid of that woman when I'm ready. But first, I will find out what secrets she's keeping. Then, I will go back to living in peace. Very well, then. That pest has no place in your sweet solitude. The world before you now is so much kinder, so much warmer than the one you used to know. Well, good luck then. And if you need a helping hand, don't hesitate to ask. Oh, and by the way, what now? You've changed, my dear. Hehe. And I like you so much better like this. I always hated how much you reeked of human. You were blessed with a body like unto God. You were personally created by His hands. I could only dream of having what you have, but you only wanted to deny it. Now, though, you act the part much better. A saint, resurrected by the closest living thing to God. Perhaps this too could be considered a miracle. Ahaha! Morgana. Yes? You are a deranged, delusional woman. Why, thank you. Giselle was a woman who smiled a great deal. Her jade eyes seemed to glimmer every time she made a new face. And the more she smiled, the more vibrantly she spoke, the more suspicious I became. I couldn't trust someone who smiled that much, especially not a woman. And the way she kept trying to get friendly with me didn't help that impression at all. I had a hard time believing she honestly wanted to get to know me. I couldn't help but think she was trying to fish for information. Anyone who tried to get close to me had to have some ulterior motive, like Amy, who had only done so to satisfy Mother. Perhaps my mistrust could have been considered paranoia. But even 10 years later, flashes of that nightmare would still come back to me from time to time. It would take more than a few attempts at being nice for me to trust this stranger. Eventually, I came to the realization that she was hiding something, and I convinced myself it was out of guilt. So I wrote to Mother in search of something I could use to tear her down, to get her out of here. I should have listened to Giselle rather than Mother or the witch. But I had conflated her with Amy in my mind, so I was unable to see where the truth really lay. I was only able to perceive her as malicious. So instead of her, I put my faith in Mother's words, despite Mother never once doing the same for me. My beloved daughter Michel, I deeply regret having to put you in this situation. I never wanted to let that woman get anywhere near you. She is a witch. A terrible, sinful witch. A dreadful, tainted woman. She lay with my husband, with your father. She's a lowly merchant girl who wormed her way into our family so she could exploit your father for money. She committed a grievous sin, the sin of adultery. I tried to have her executed, but your father wouldn't allow it. So instead, he had her banished to atone for her sins, unaware that you already lived there. And I could not tell him either, for that is mine and your brother's secret. I pray you can find it in your heart to forgive your mother for her failings. Forgive me for delivering a witch to you. I would not be surprised if she tried snooping around. She is a ruthless fiend who will do anything for money. should word of your curse happen to spread, it would surely draw unwanted attention from the church. We have no allies except each other. Michel, with this letter, I have included a knife. The blade has been blessed with holy water, which should allow it to eradicate the corrupt, evil soul of the witch. I ask of you, with all my heart, to send that awful creature back to hell. It was storming that night. Erratic claps of thunder ripping through the sky. Giselle let out a panicked scream, shoving me back, and the look in her eyes kicked into motion emotions I had thought I'd lost. I knew that face. I knew that scream, because that face had once been mine. I had screamed with the same utter despair at the world. Back to the way things were. Yes, finally, it's quiet again. I'm honestly surprised she stayed as long as she did. In a way, her tenacity is rather impressive. Not many would persist for so long in the face of such obvious disinterest. But you know no one would try to get friendly with you without good reason. Information about you carries considerable weight outside these walls. But the look on her face then, was that really her just putting on an act because I revealed her scheming? If you think she was afraid of you, you're mistaken. That's how people behave when their sins are brought to light. She was screaming, though, and she looked genuinely terrified when she knocked my hand away. You're not going to let a woman's screams cloud your judgment, are you? A woman can make a weapon out of anything. Tears, a smile, fear. The day she arrived, you recognized her smile as fake. So surely you aren't going to fall for this? I'm not falling for anything. I feel like I know that frenzied panic. Something doesn't add up. Just nothing, my dear. In fact, what perplexes me is why you didn't simply kill her when you had the chance. Are you afraid of the sight of blood? The blood of your tormentors has no more worth than that of a wild boar. You should have sliced her throat without a second thought. Although, I suppose that would have made quite the mess. Now that makes more sense. You were not afraid of hurting her. You merely didn't want the burden of having to clean up afterward. How very like you. Be quiet. Oh, come now. That woman's finally gone, and it's back to just the two of us, and you don't want to talk? Silence, please. As you wish. I will celebrate your accomplishment in silence, my dearest friend. I imagine she's out there, half buried in the cold earth by now. I get chills every time I consider where I would be if I had done as Mother said. If I had killed you, or if, out there in the forest, you had succumbed to the unforgiving weather. Life had never given me much in the way of good fortune, but you coming back, you being alive, was absolutely a blessing. I'm done. I can't take it. I'm through with this whole world. You don't have any idea what I went through there. How hard it was just to keep myself together. Giselle, I do understand. I know very well how difficult, how painful it can be for no one to believe you, for no one to accept you. I know far too well what it's like to want to scream that you're done with this whole damned world. I truly do. That day, for the first time, we saw past the surface. We got to know each other as people. It was nothing more than a single small step, but for us, it was like we had moved a mountain. I still remember how the light felt as it shone through the windows we opened together. It didn't burn. And while this might sound melodramatic, I feel safe in saying it was probably the gentlest light I had ever felt in my life. Following my reconciliation with Giselle, I started turning back into my old self. Well, I suppose that's not quite correct. I felt a comfort and peace with myself that I never had before. That may have been the first time I was really human. Having someone else around began to feel normal. It was something I was certain I would never have. It was incredible. Though, to someone else, our time together may have seemed frivolous and empty. Our conversations meaningless chatter. I never thought the day would come when someone would laugh at something I said, when someone would smile at the sight of me, however trivial. Seeing Giselle smile made me happy. Oh darn it, where'd you get off to? Are you here? Are you in the vase? What's all the racket? Is something the matter? Ah, master. Yes, a cat. Huh? A cat? A naughty little cat's been sneaking into the cellar the past few days, so I'm trying to catch him. If you happen to come across him, don't let him get away. Right. And what will you do once you've caught him? Well, I don't want to punish him, That would be mean. If he insists on coming back, I think I'll take him in and teach him how to be a house cat. You mean to keep him? Are you not fond of cats, Master? I don't mind them, no. Then there you have it. I hope he doesn't take too long to warm up to us. Maybe it'll help if you give him a name. Oh, a name? That's a great idea. Well, what should we call him then? You decide, Master. You want me to pick a name? This is your house, after all. So it's only right you would be the one to choose. Not sure I follow that reasoning. What does the cat look like? Well, he's wild, so he's dirty, I guess. And he's kind of got some spots here and there. Is he ugly? I'd say so, yeah. Alright then. Ugly Speckles Mark II. That's a name? Why on earth would you want to call something that? And what does Mark II even mean? Be quiet. It's on you if he runs away, Master. My time with Giselle made a normal person out of me. Made me able to tell stupid jokes, to get frustrated or surprised or exasperated. I started showing actual emotion. Our silly, meaningless banter became something precious. My heart of stone began to soften. The world she created for me was what I had yearned for my whole life. Having lost half of it, imprisoned, and spent the other half playing an identity that conflicted with how I felt in my heart. It was the first time I genuinely felt like I was allowed to be myself. Yeesh, you're not a kid, so don't be so picky. It's not good for you. You make a mockery of the culinary arts. I've heard quite enough, Master. It sounds like I'm going to need to put your taste buds through some intense rehabilitation. How about this, Master? Play a game against me. And of course, if you're open to it, it doesn't have to end there. We can continue getting to know each other for years to come. Giselle, though I did my best to not show it, I think that I treasured our time together even more than you did. I'd latched onto it, desperately refusing to let go. I needed it, and I needed you. Are you listening, Morgana? I can hear you just fine, my dear. Now, what brings you all the way up here? You know you can call me from anywhere in the house. My bonds to this tower have been broken. This is a conversation we can only have here. The place where we first met. It's time for us to part ways. My desires haven't changed since our first encounter. I wish to be a person. To be a man? Exactly. When I'm with Giselle, I am that. She makes me into the person I always wanted to be. And now you wish to be rid of me so you can complete your descent into the realm of the unclean? The realm of the unclean? The fuck, dude? I do. Haha! You came all the way up here just to tell me that? A needless formality. I'm sorry, Michel, but we are kindred spirits, as much as you may want to deny it. You could be second to only God, yet you spurn his gift. I am nothing like you. I am a human, nothing more. I shall not condemn you for your unyielding resolve, but rather pity you for being so utterly blind. Allow me to make a prediction before I depart, Michel, cursed namesake of an archangel. You may think that you're making some sort of progress, but the fact of the matter is, you've gone nowhere. Will that smile of Giselle's be able to withstand your secret? You know better than anyone that no one can accept what you are, not even her. You will never be with anyone. I understand that. No, Michel, you don't understand. But you will soon enough. What you have now is not true happiness. It's empty, naught but a masquerade. And when the night is over, the masks will come off. So what if it isn't permanent? Isn't real? Does being ephemeral make it worthless? Why can I not want something that doesn't last forever? This is the first time I've ever found joy in life. Those moments of happiness only serve to worsen the loss. The sweeter the honey, the more you despair when the pot runs dry. Sooner or later, you will return to me, begging for my help, and I have every intention of giving it to you. I will not hold this over you either, for when you come to me, it will be in the time of your utmost despair. And when your little paradise finally comes crumbling down, you will become what I am. So I will take my leave from your side in anticipation of that day. Until we meet again, my dear. Oh, hello, Master. I was just looking for you. I heated up some wine and thought you might... Is something the matter? No. No, I'm fine. Thank you. Er, uh, no, it's nothing. All I did was warm it over the fire. Are you sure nothing's the matter? I shouldn't be hearing the witch's voice anymore. So, yes, I am fine. Oh, wow. That's wonderful news, Master. It is. Giselle seemed quite relieved when I informed her the witch would no longer be bothering me. I knew she didn't believe in the witch, but that wasn't what mattered. What did matter was that, despite likely questioning my sanity when I had first told her about it, she hadn't tried to pull away. She treated me the same as before. She never stopped smiling. And that meant so much more than whether or not she believed in the witch. With Morgana's voice no longer constantly in my ears, my life started to feel like some approximation of normal. In fact, I would say I was probably happier than most. Nevertheless, I intended to keep a certain degree of distance between us, for what the witch had said rang truer than I wanted to admit. You will never be with anyone. Having been born into this body, that was my reality, and there was nothing I could do to change it. I had come to accept that, or so I thought. I wasn't going to covet what I couldn't have, but I had gotten a taste of that sweet happiness. I had started to develop a great affection for that smile, and as much as I tried to tell myself I was just getting caught up in the moment, that the feelings would pass in time, I found myself unable to restrain the swelling of emotions within me. That day by the fireplace, I thought that all I wanted from you was friendship, to have you in my life, always nearby. I thought that if we were simply friends, I would still be able to see that smile, even if you were to learn what I was. That if we were merely friends, you would be able to accept that. So I would keep these things I felt inside at all costs. However, with each passing day, with each gentle smile, my affection for you swelled. It reached the point where, as hard as I tried to keep it contained, all it would take was the slightest nudge for it to come spilling out, and it made me desire what was out of reach. I was convinced I had changed, because this happiness had become my everyday. I had no right to any such thing, but I came to wish that I could be the center of your life. I yearned for you, and I wanted you to yearn for me. And like the fool I am, I thought that with you, it might even be possible. Honestly, it's no trouble. I mean it. You just took me by surprise, that's all. I am pleased. It doesn't matter how it turns out. You drew it for me, Master. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. I would be happy with anything drawn for me by the man I love. That one word set me into motion. For I had long since fallen deeply, utterly in love with you. There was no escaping that. Oh, listen very carefully. I love you. I love you so much, I feel like my heart is going to explode. Nevertheless, there was also no escaping my past, what I was. Knowing I could never truly be with you, that I could do nothing about this body, I pushed you away. But seeing all the color drain from your face, I knew I had to take that step. I thought that maybe you could change my world, if you really did love me as much as you said. Together, we could change everything. We could walk a new path, side by side. And so, I decided to trust my heart. I'm in heaven. I'm so happy I could cry. I too was elated. Giselle, I'm sure you thought I was a kind-hearted man, that my love for you was pure and chaste, and I wanted to be that for you. But beneath the surface lurked indecent desires. Despite saying I didn't want to hurt you, that just having you by my side was enough. My desire bubbled up at the warmth of your skin. I wanted to let that heat take over, to let my hands run free. I could feel it burning inside me. I longed for intimacy, not just emotionally, but physically. I wished I could lay you down on my bed and satisfy those desires. I wanted to make love to you. Unfortunately, that was not possible. Bro, just use a strap-on. Simple. I didn't have the ability. No matter how hard I try, my body lacks the capability to be one with you. I can pray, and I can long, and I can wish all I want, but my body will never be what I want it to be. I am gray, though I have always known my true color. I have no way of becoming it. My heart has always known what I am, but the world refuses to accept it. Every time I claim I'm normal, 5 say I'm an abomination. Would it really have been too much to ask for me to be born normal? To let me be who I truly am? Is that really so much to ask? Things began to change when I learned my father Antonin had passed away. George would, I assumed, be busy preparing to take his place. And if what he said was true, then I would be welcomed back to the estate. I would no longer be a demon child, but a member of the Bollinger family once more. Deep down, though, I couldn't completely believe it would actually happen. Yeah, but okay, who's the one who originally stated that Michel was a demon child? It wasn't his father, it was his mother. Yeah, he really should have known better. Like, he should have known that his mother would have never accepted him the way he was. After 11 years in exile, I had no idea how they felt about me anymore. Would they even remember a promise they had made so long ago? Threatened to consume me. But Giselle, as she often seemed to do, put my mind at ease. No matter where I go, you'll be there with me, Michel. It's true, I am nervous not knowing what the future holds, but not in a scared something bad might happen kind of way. It's more of a jittery, excited anxiousness. I'm confident the two of us can overcome anything, no matter what obstacles may come our way. Together, we can create an even more wonderful future. Could I believe her? Could I have faith in her wonderful future? That she would always be there with me? That we would return to the estate and finally move on with our lives? That together we could create a future? No, that wasn't a question. I wanted to have faith. I wanted to believe as much as she did. I wanted to believe that even if I was gray, I could have a normal life together with her. She had rescued me from the depths of hell, and now I wanted to make her happy. After taking that step in our relationship, I made numerous attempts to reveal the truth about what I was. But every time I tried, sharp pain gripped my chest, and my words faded into nothing before they could reach my lips. I knew that if our relationship were to continue, I would have to tell her eventually, but merely imagining her face twisted in disgust nearly crushed me. She was everything to me, and so, as we prepared for our departure, I decided it was time to make some changes. It was time for me to break out of my rut, and what happened next depended largely on whether Mother and my brothers were willing to accept me as a man. The course my future took was in their hands, in their hearts. If they couldn't accept me, then I couldn't return home. I prayed from the bottom of my heart that things would turn out for the best, that my family would accept me for who I was, and that they would accept what I had with Giselle. I decided I would tell Giselle everything after I received their responses, and I hoped dearly that she would join me wherever I ended up. I couldn't provide Giselle the same kind of happiness a normal man could, but if she and my family accepted me, I would do anything I could to build a happy family with her in my own way. And so I sat down to write. Dear Mother, there is something I wish to tell you, something that means a great deal to me. So I ask of you, please hear me out, and I ask of you, please accept it. Mother, I no longer bear any resentment for my present lot in life. Nevertheless, I would ask of you to concede one thing, that I was never cursed, that I was always your son, that I am Michel, not Michel. I have found someone whom I care for dearly, a woman, and I love her with all my heart. I would like to spend the rest of my life with her. I do not wish for much, simply to have a quiet life with her, to go through our days together, man and woman. That is the one thing I want. Mother, I know you're aware that my body is no longer female. I am a man. My heart is male, and I ask of you to please accept that. I have no grudge with you. In fact, I am incredibly grateful to you for bringing me into this world. With love, your dearest son. But rather than a reply, I received a visit from knights ordered to kill me. Man, I'm telling you, both his father and his mother are just like complete shitheads. Michel, tell me, why do you think this is your fault? What is your curse? Your curse, it isn't just the color of your hair and eyes, is it? There's more to it, isn't there? There's something else, isn't there? Morgana? Morgana! Please, say something! Morgana! Your predictions, they were right. I was a fool. You can laugh at me all you want. So please, say something. Death. Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Why won't you answer me, Morgana? Why can I not feel you there beside me? You said you would help me when I came for it. Well, here I am, begging for your help. Please, come back to me, just this once. I know you're there somewhere. Please, before they break down the door. Michel, I'm I'm all right. It's okay, Michel. I'm not scared. You're here with me, after all. I'm fine. It's all fine. So please, hold me until it's all over. Please, stay with me. Michel, my dear, why would you ever believe that fairy tale nonsense? Why would you ever think a wonderful future awaited you? Morgana, here you are now, wretched, pitiful. For that, you have my sympathy. I will help you in your time of need. Ah, finally you speak. Michel, I can feel the despair emanating from you. You hate it. It kills you. This is how you're rewarded, for fighting to be yourself. You know exactly who sent those knights, don't you? They rejected you, rejected what you are. Hey, Michel, are you all right? Your family, unable to accept your body and heart, branded you a heretic and turned you over to the church. Yes, they did. And did you hear what the knights were saying? They've even accused you of being a witch. Taken my sins and placed them on you. Come back to me, Michel. You hate them, don't you? You want to curse them, don't you? You want to kill them, don't you? I shall grant you that wish. Out of your hatred and despair, I shall make my own wish. And that wish shall become a curse upon your family's wicked souls. You'll grant my wish then, Morgana? Yes, yes, absolutely. Tell me what it is you want, my poor little darling. Michel, let your contempt flow free. Give me the names of those you want cursed. I want you to protect her. Excuse me? If they find her, she could be accused of abetting a witch and executed as well. So please, use your power to keep her safe. You said you would grant my wish, did you not? That was not the wish I was hoping for. I know, but that's the wish I want you to grant. Morgana! Then offer me something in return. Such a disappointing wish will require a sacrifice. Step beyond that door, my dear, and witness ultimate despair. That was my plan anyway. So long as I am considered a heretic and marked for death, my being alive puts Giselle in danger. Indeed it does. Yet here you are, shaking like a little scared little child. Of course I'm scared. There isn't a single person who doesn't fear death. Please keep her safe. You're the only one who can help me, Morgana. You have my word. From this moment, I vow to protect her life. Thank you. Giselle. Please hear me out, Giselle. I never thought anything good would become of my life. I never thought I would find anyone who truly understood me, who would be happy to have my love. And for that, I hated the world. I was in constant torment, living in the shadows. But then, a single ray of light shone down on me. Michel, you, Giselle, you delivered me from the darkness. I'm scared, Giselle. I'm terrified. I used to think my life was meaningless, that it didn't matter if I lived or died. But now, I can't stop shaking. That's perfectly normal. I'm scared to death too, but what scares me most is losing you. Michel, so please, allow me to repay you. I said I would do anything for you, so let me do this. I haven't given you anything. I haven't done anything for you. So give me one final chance. Michel! Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I mean, we already know what happens, so. Alright, um, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will be back again tomorrow.